All right.
3, 2, 1. Hey, how's it going, guys? Bro, you guys. All right.
We're having transmission problems from space right now.
I can't even think now. I'm like, I'm just.
Bro, you gotta at least stay serious for the intro, bro. Yeah, bro. She's got no.
Bro, fuck a serious intro. This is the move. My thing glitched out for a reason. We're having transmission problems from space.
Dude, Aaron just distracted me too hard, bro.
And look at Aaron, bro.
Dude has a microphone in the diaper.
Bro, she has no tits, bro.
Do you see the second microphone, bro?
Where's the second mic?
Aaron, move your head.
Bro.
All right. All right. So 3, 2, 1. How's it going, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. This is the afternoon podcast, the Heckling Hooligans, with your host, your boy Ari Nye. To the left of me is Lior. Bottom left is Max, and under me is my brother Aaron.
How y'all doing?
We got some spicy topics that we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to get right into it. So the first topic that we're going to be speaking about is, what is it? It's like,
Want to spit it out already, bro? You said like 6 times.
Well, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm drawing blanks. Like I'm winging it right now.
That should be.
Yeah. So, what is it? It's respecting people's opinions. That's the first?
Yeah, modern day and age, respecting opinions for people who fall different from you. If it's politically, integrally, in terms of the way you view yourself, principle matter, whatever it is, it's respecting different opinions and different perspectives in the workplace, in a relationship, in terms of society. Let's try to break that down and see where people are standing at. We'll give you a little bit of our opinion with that. You know, you got 4 good-looking guys over here, you know what I'm saying? Just going to crack it to you.
Well, 3 good-looking guys, and then we kind of have like a space cadet where you don't even know what's happening there.
Yeah,
he's sexy for space.
But yeah, bro, I look like a beautiful space, and sometimes I would glitch in, so you could see my beautiful ski mask.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start by saying first that I'm the type of person to actually just kind of like weigh each side of an argument and kind of look from outside in. I never usually jump on like one side of an argument like right away. I always try to actually assess it, think about it, take the pros and cons from each side, and then make my decision from there, you know. And even so, if other people like oppose my ideas or what I think, I usually tend to respect what they have to say and hear them out and, accept that, other people think differently and, have different experiences in life of why they, think this way.
I think you brought up a good point by saying that even if you disagree, I think a lot of people take a stem problem with the fact that they think that agreeing and disagreeing is what's going to make the opinion respected or not. There is no problem to disagree. It's just about how you react to to disagreeing. If I'm a pretty strong opinionated person, and if I have an opinion, most likely I'm usually going to take into consideration what the other person is saying. But if it does not resonate with me, my opinion will not stand changed. But because we disagree, it has nothing to do with the fact that we could still be friends, we could still be great coworkers, we could still get along just fine. It's just we don't need to agree on everything to actually have respect for one another. I think that there's a problem once you start thinking that if agreeing and disagreeing builds upon respect, which from my personal experiences, a lot of people do take, leads to whether or not you will or will not get along with the person. Now, if somebody has a totally radicalized opinion and you guys just aren't going to like match, that's just how it is. Not everyone's going to rub each other the right way, but I would say 75% of people are not radicalized in terms of their opinion and don't have an extreme opinion in regards to most matters. They just have one that resonates with them best. I think most people can build around that. I mean, if you really stem down to the core of it, the reasoning for their opinions is usually quite similar. Whether or not the outcome and the way that they perceive it is different, that is a different topic, but it has nothing to do with the fact that you or the other person disagree in terms of if you or the other person could still be compatible in terms of being friends or being coworkers or being boss and employee, student and teacher, just friends in general, just another human being who lives in society with you. There should be no animosity or anything held against somebody because you guys disagree. That would be not respecting their opinion. That's my take on that.
All right. What's up, Jordan Peterson? Nice, man. Killed it right there. I have nothing to add. You killed it.
I think
Saying
the
my
only thing I would
definition
add,
is
the only thing I would
You
add
just
is
said all the
that
available words.
I think the only thing I would add is the fact that some people desire that everybody would be uniform in opinion. Is that it stems from an idea that they think that will lead to equality, but in reality, that will lead to the greatest inequality of all times, right? The way we become equal is by letting our differences set us apart and let us shine and shine better than others, right? It'd be better on certain things.
We're already all equal.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
And honestly, to put in perspective, if you think about it, if
By
everyone
law, we
had
are.
the same opinion and everyone thought the same, and in that way, then we'd just all be the same. No one would be unique. The point of having an opinion and a personality is what's up.
If everybody's unique, then nobody's unique. So is anybody unique?
I mean,
That's not necessarily true. Everybody could be unique in their own way. There's many different things that you could be doing.
But
I
that's
want to
the
drop
point.
religion into it.
Aaron's trying to break my brain, but
from God. We're all supposed to have our characteristic of God, which I don't think anybody really shares the same because God's characteristics are infinite. So if you want to take it to a religious standpoint,
Yeah, religion is like a different, it's putting another, like politics or religion. It adds another layer to it.
I mean, human beings are just one big onion, man. There's many layers. I mean, do you see this head shape?
is that a Shrek reference?
Yeah, bro. You got to peel me to get to the center, bro. I got like a yellow onion shaped head. There's different onion. You got a sweet onion. You got the white onion. You got the red onion.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
rocking with that yellow onion swag.
Bro, you even
You
got
making
those
them bitches cry.
I don't want to say what kind of onions you missed mentioning, but it's good. What
Hey, I
about
didn't
green
get all of
onions?
them, man.
He looks like a nice toasted scallop.
Ooh.
You're saying I resemble
Oh,
more of a shadow?
that one bombed.
You're just coming at me right now. In regards to what Lior and Ari said, in terms of people being unique and people being different, if the world was all the same, I don't think that the humankind would get to where they are. I think that it's an innovation of many different ideas and many different perspectives and many different opinions that brought the human race to where we are. I mean, I think one of the biggest flourishings of human society in general was around 1700, late 1600s, when British colonies, Spanish colonies started going outwards. And mainly, I think one of the biggest things that pushed the world forward, not to have anything against anybody ethnically, was, I mean, places like China, which had flourished thousands of years prior, were kind of stuck in the same place. If it wouldn't have been for democracy and it wouldn't have been for free pilgrimage, for open idea and for freedom of religion, I don't think that the world would have been able to take the steps that it has taken since. I think that being able to accept many different ideas and build upon different different aspects of pretty much somebody's life and different aspects of the way that they view things is the reason that we've managed to make such a melting pot of a world. And I think only pushing that even farther forward with technology and with modern day social media and with the influences in the forgetting the word I'm trying to use, with the influences and it'll come back to me, but the influences and the exposure that we get nowadays from many different cultures, many different ideas, many different people who stem from hundreds of different places in the world. I think that melting pot alone just puts you so much further forward in terms of evolution, in terms of not just evolution of the human race, in terms of like your microgenetics and stuff, but in terms of the evolution of your mind, being able to accept and understand things that formerly you wouldn't have been able to because you had been stuck with certain ideas that only stem from the country you live in. So if we would have all been the same, we wouldn't have been where we are, and then the world would have just been boring. I think that I also stem from what Ari said about being unique. I think that everybody is unique and everybody has their purpose and their 2 cents or their grain of salt to add to the pie. And if we wouldn't all be in coalition, that's when that goes wrong. And that's why I wanted to bring up the topic of respect in people's opinions, because I feel like it's a dangerous game that we're playing nowadays with a lot of the political climate and a lot of people not understanding that if we don't respect everybody's opinion, we're actually taking a step backwards in our evolution mentally from what has pretty much brought us to where we're at. We have to look at the formula that brought us to the success that we're in. That if it wouldn't have been many different ideas, we wouldn't have been as exposed and as forward, like as intelligent, as experienced and knowledgeable as we are, if we all just kept a single opinion that creates right or wrong.
I think we're doing a good job, a better job nowadays on like listening to opinions, though, because like women can vote. People aren't running around with pistols anymore. Like well, they are, but not in like the Wild West, where they're just like having bang. You know what I mean? Like we respect each other's opinions better. Should give us a little credit.
Yeah, saloon fight turns into I'll meet you at high noon tomorrow. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I'm still licensed and registered to fucking carry the python, the angry piece I got in my pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still a little Wild West out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they call it the whirling dervish.
I call it my purple-headed friend. You know what I'm saying? Say hello to my purple-headed warrior.
All right. So, yeah, to conclude this topic, I mean, I agree with basically what Max said. And
Max takes the wheel.
Segueing into the next topic, I actually wanted to talk about spirituality.
I want to hit you with a little intermission.
So I want to
real quick. Reese Witherspoon is getting a divorce. So all you single lads, older or younger, Reese Witherspoon is back on the radar. And she is looking good for, don't quote me, but I think 44. She's nice. Just want to throw that out.
There's too much new pussy out there, guys. Fuck that shit.
Listen, some of us are cultured, okay?
I'm cultured too.
We got a weirdo. Anyway, I want to open it up by asking every one of you if you feel that you're spiritual. Aaron?
Feel that you're spiritual.
Yeah.
Where's you define spiritual?
It doesn't necessarily have to connect with religion. It can be
in tune with yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, like the
I was gonna ask, yeah. I was gonna like add on what you asked. Like, what is spirituality to you?
Yeah, and how you connect to the universe. Like why? Like basically, that old question: what is the meaning of life? Like that type of thing,
So the meaning of life.
Well, no, I'm not asking the meaning of life. I'm talking about spirituality. It's like
if I'm spiritual, like I just think I'm a human just doing human things. I don't know about spirits and all that, man.
You don't believe in ghosts or anything?
I mean, why should I? I've never seen one, and they leave me alone. So maybe they exist, but they torture other people. I don't know. If they torture
No,
other people, leave me
bro.
alone. I'm good. Let
My
them
house is
exist.
haunted,
I
brother.
respect.
My house
Put
be
some respect
haunted.
on it.
Yo, but like, what about that glare in that picture?
So there was a little bend of light from like the prism of the glass.
Yeah,
It
dude.
looked like a figure on the wall. Yeah.
All right, Leor, what about you?
I would say yeah, pretty spiritual person. I don't know.
In what
Feel
way?
I like to pray, and I like to just meditate and enjoy being one with the world. Just look around, hike, absorb the nature that's around me, where I was placed in the time I'm allowed to be living in. That's kind of my view on life, and I think that's a pretty grateful way to live life. It's a pretty happy way to live life, at least in my eyes. Instead of getting upset at all the shit that's going around, it's too much shit to get upset at anyway. You gotta be grateful for what you got.
All right, and Max.
You feel bad and shit.
My answer is kind of long because it
Yeah,
plays
go
into
ahead, dude. Mine is probably going to be the longest.
I mean, I believe that spirituality plays into many different factors in terms of also purpose of life. It plays into, I'm quite religious in terms of the way I feel and my connection with God, I guess you could say. Not that I say I speak to God or something. I mean, when you pray, you technically are, but I'm not like speaking to anybody. I'm just going through the motion of what you're supposed to do. And I believe that I'm definitely spiritual, and I think that it ties in deeply into like your purpose in life. So I believe that everybody's got a purpose in terms of like similar to what Lior said, that you're just one with the universe. I don't really look at myself as one. As I guess in a bigger picture, I am one with the universe, but in a certain sense, I'm only looking at my purpose in this lifetime. And my purpose in this lifetime, in my opinion, is to get to the lessons that I was put here to learn certain things that were decided from above that I need to achieve in this lifetime for my soul. And through that, I definitely believe in spirituality and that I'm living for something bigger. If it's from helping people to helping myself to helping the ones around me to being able to give somebody a question to empower somebody because I'm feeling good with myself. I mean, I wake up every day happy. I wake up every day ready to take on another day. I feel like every day that you wake up is a blessing. And you can only move forward from there, growing in your spiritual sense, growing for your soul. I think that that's the most important thing. That is the most priceless thing, in my opinion, you can learn and live for in this lifetime. It's not how much money you're going to make or what vehicle you're going to have or how you're going to look. It's mainly about how you can help people on your journey, and through helping people on your journey, discover yourself and figure out the things that you were truthfully blessed to be put on this earth to learn, whether you fail or not. That's the bigger picture to if you're going to make it happen or not. And I think that through that, you are living spiritually. So I definitely do believe in spirituality. And that's what spirituality not only is for me, it's what it means for me as a person.
Nice.
Big respect.
I agree with like a big chunk of that because
Yeah, sure.
my theory of like spirituality is along the lines of basically everyone is like put on this earth for a reason. Like they have their spirit has some type of purpose, and as you live your life, you're basically tasked with, first of all, finding out the purpose, which is, in my opinion, the thing that most fail at to begin with. And then the next step is to fulfill that. And then I even take it a step further and I say that if this person doesn't fulfill their purpose or doesn't find out what it is, their spirit basically ends up being like reincarnated into a new form. because like the purpose was never finished. So it's like it will go on until you finish it.
That's how I view it. But that means that you're pretty much, if you fail, you're going to be back here. Welcome to Mother Earth.
Yes.
That's how I look at it. You're going to just be back here to learn from your mistakes. But I also believe that what you're saying about purpose and like finding your purpose in life, I feel like sometimes finding that purpose that actually happens in this lifetime is only to teach you a purpose which you don't actually understand, which has to do more of a spiritual sense within your soul. So if you feel your purpose is to help people here, through helping people or through achieving the goal that you have here, you're actually achieving another one internally that you can't even really see. In a certain terms of growth, it's like a double purpose. That's how I look at it. That sometimes the actual meaning here, like what you feel is your calling in your heart to help your people or to help and to be able to empower people or to do something, is only a purpose here to actually help you reach your spiritual and soulful purpose, which is one that's not related to this world. It's only being projected through this world to help you unlock what's internal.
Is this exclusive to Homo sapiens?
It's hard to tell because, you know, like,
Because
Are
I
you-
mean, like, you know, being like put on this earth and
Not
you know,
not in my
holding-
eyes. If you ask
I
me.
didn't hear what you said, Aaron. Sorry. You said something Homo sapien. I didn't hear your question.
It says, is it exclusive to Homo sapiens?
it's hard to say.
There was a bunch of, you know, there's like different like kinds of humans that were like, you know, evolving and shit. So like, were those Neanderthals also put on this earth to sort of like do a purpose, or were they just born to fuck? Or like, you know, when did purpose come into it? Like, I think you guys are thinking too deep. You know what I mean?
I think it started with Adam and Eve, with the first story that we have.
It's Adam and Eve. Oh, you're talking about the creation story.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to view it. Like, if you really ask me how old is the Earth, I mean, I don't want to sound crazy here, but I mean, if you ask anybody super religious, they'll tell you it's 5,800 something years old. Now, there's proof of people being here 300 million years ago of specimens living on Earth, but what if they were just created to seem like they were 300 million years ago for you to actually learn certain things from science from it? I feel like everything was given to us as a gift. So anything that you can amount to, or anything that you can think of, or anything that ever comes into your mind is not just something that's crazy or a fantasy. It was given to you.
Yeah, but like the way
So I
the
can't answer
Earth is
that.
formed, the way the Earth was formed, like nobody really knows, right? But everything has like a growth and a decay process. So it doesn't make sense that they, like, you know, random skeletons of old ancient humans would just materialize. It would make sense that
Well, I mean, if you
they
believe
were
in God,
born and then they died.
so he could do that.
Right, but if you believe, if you believe in like, you know, God, then you're cutting off like a lot of, you know, evidence that, you know, science comes up with all the time, and it's
Evidence that
always
was given to
changing.
you. Was given to you
Right.
so that you can create science, so that you could try to understand. What if it was just there as a formula so that you would understand certain things that helped us grow science in itself? But being able to understand that apparently this 300 million year old skeleton is 300 million years old, because that takes a certain amount of science and capabilities to be able to understand that that thing is 300 million years old, to be able to paint the picture of its full skeleton, to be able to understand what kind of an organism it was, what kind of creature it was. These are all things that were then given to us, in my opinion, because technically, based off upon religion, Earth is 5,800 something years old. If not 5,900, don't quote me, but we're not over, I think, 6,500.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, but like, you have to remember that religion is also based off of a book that we don't know when was
it's
actually
also a book that got
materialized.
edited multiple times.
First of all, yeah, it got edited multiple times. That is one for once, and number two, until it
That's
got
further
written.
prophecy, and that's further translation. The original 10 Commandments
No,
and
they-
Torah that was given to us was
They removed
technically the word
they
of God.
removed
It came
books.
after.
They removed books from the Bible.
They removed
The Book of Enoch isn't in the Bible.
Max, we remember this. What is
Oh,
it?
we've talked about this before.
No, I mean, a couple of years ago, we talked about how the Bible, like the years in the Bible, technically we don't know for sure if they were like a year that we know now today. You know, a year may have been 100 years. You know,
Correct.
we can't be sure.
Oh, it's
There
like,
is
it's
a
not like
system.
a Gregorian
There's
year.
calendar. There is a
Yeah,
system.
exactly. Like the length of time of a year could possibly be longer than what we know. So I feel like evolution also is involved with creation. You know, it's like a combination of both. That's what I think.
But like, if you're saying that the Earth, you know, the Earth is like young, it's only 5,000 years old and all that. There's things, there's things on Earth that are older than 5,000 years. Like you unless you know, God's playing with us and like trying to, you know, play the Where's Waldo kind of thing. You don't just like create something and try to fool people. Like what's the point of like, okay, come find me? Like why
That you're there, but like
no,
like,
but
not
like the
enough
fact that like there's a
that you're
secret
actually there.
purpose and there's you know, you have a secret purpose that you have to find out, and if you don't find out, then you, like basically your life's ruined and you have to start over when you die anyway. So what you do now doesn't matter.
That's what
That
throws a lot of
doesn't
people
make
into
sense.
depression. That's also what throws a lot of people into depression. So that's
Yeah, but
it's a
you know
very
what?
depressing way to look at life. Like there
You
isn't
know why?
necessarily a purpose unless you make one.
You know why we're depressed? Because we have too much free time, we have too much freedom, and we have too much like overthinking going on. Seriously, when you're out there like in the jungle and you're like looking over your shoulder every 5 seconds because you think that you might hear a panther and your heart's racing and you're like, holy fuck, with your spear, you're not depressed. But all of a sudden we're sitting in our, you know, grandiose houses with everything we could ever want. We're ordering DoorDash and all that. Of course you're depressed. You're spoiled as fuck.
Okay, deal.
And I'm depressed as fuck too, so I'm including myself in that.
This dude is talking about DoorDash.
Well, I agree to
Yeah,
a certain point. I agree to a certain point that like you need a certain amount of challenges that need to be put in front of you in your lifetime to be able to understand that number one, you're not looking for problems like depression and letting yourself sit and overthink things that could or could not happen, in terms of also having regret or overanalyzing a situation to the point, but that you don't understand really how you feel or what you want. I feel like a lot of people's lives, because we are so sheltered and because we have such a privileged life compared to many other times, people are looking for a problem, kind of. When if they truthfully ever encountered problems, I know I have encountered serious problems in my lifetime, and I'm sure Ari has too. We've had this conversation before. You're not looking for a problem. I'm not looking to order my DoorDash and cry about the fact that, oh my God, my friend just broke up with her boyfriend, and like, holy shit, like I gotta speak to her, and like I'm upset for her, and like I gotta like totally start like thinking about it. Now like now I'm upset, and like I'm thinking about my old breakup, and it's like you have way too much free time on your hands. Like if you actually had something fucking serious in your life, you really not want to try and sit here and create yourself a problem. You would just look at the benefits, help your friend, obviously be there for your friend, understand that your friend might be going through something, probably painful, probably hurting them inside because they just got out of a relationship. But at the same time, that shouldn't cause you to now be like, oh my God, I can't go to work. I have to like speak to my friend. Like you just have way too much comfort and luxury in your life to be able to do that. There's people who can't take a day off of work because they got a family to fucking feed. They have stuff to fucking get done. And if it's not a family to feed, let's go to a third world country. If they don't go out there and get food for their family, if they don't go out there and chop down trees, their family is going to be cold throughout the fucking night. So I'm sorry, I can't sit here and fucking mope a dope and say I'm not going to work because you broke up with your fucking girlfriend. I got to fucking go to work. I can't just sit here and be like, oh, I feel your pain. Let's get DoorDash.
And like, dude, when I'm like, you know, super down, you know what, like, what helps the best, it just kicks depression's ass so much. You just go out for a run, bro. You just run. Like, I know
Any
everybody's
sport,
gonna be like,
bro.
yeah, I don't
Basketball.
feel like, I don't feel like putting on my tennis shoes. I'm not gonna go out there and run and stuff. But it's like, as soon as you do that, you'll feel 10,000 times better.
Yo, shout out to
100%.
my depressed people out there. You ever get that moment
dude.
where you're out running,
Introduce some survival like tactics, you know,
like-
start running and
like breaking down to cry and like you can't because like you're running, and you like I guess your body just physically can't do that.
yeah, you get endorphins too. You get
Yeah,
endorphin
your
high.
brain
you
is
can
literally
cry,
like
bro.
something's
You can
chasing
cry
you.
and
That's
run,
what
bro.
is going on.
Shit yourself in a Walmart. I promise you, you're gonna cry and run to your fucking car. And shit to try that.
Dude, you need to move closer to your router.
You talking about me?
Yes. You're starting to lag a lot.
It's just because he's bopping around a lot.
This dude's ready to order some DoorDash. Like,
Dude, but I'm
Bro,
just
I
saying,
would
like,
order some DoorDash, but they don't put them up to space.
I'm just saying, like, the spirituality thing too. Like, I think that's also kind of overthought. Because when you think about it, the meaning of life is just to live. And if you're not living because you're listening to other people's shit, like, when you're letting other people affect how you think, then that's where it comes from. Where you're like, oh man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because you stopped listening to yourself and you started putting other people's opinions in your mind, and it fucks with you because that's not really you. That's just like what you're learning.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think it's a picture for maybe 70% of people in our modern day and time. I wouldn't say it's everybody. I would say you're talking about a strong 70%. But then again, most people, no offense, like not to offend anybody here, most people follow a leader because they can't make some crucial decisions in their life, and they need certain people to give them certain outlooks on how they should be doing their life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Once again, I really stand back from the fact that everybody has a purpose. If it's small or big, it doesn't matter. I think no purpose is more important than the other. That's why certain people have to give you a certain direction in your life. But I think that because now we have all this mixed match, no one's really giving anybody direction. They're just sitting and looking at everything, and they're taking it in, and they're putting it in their own hands to decide for themselves. And I think that's where humans are starting to get a little confused, because most people cannot decide for themselves. That's why that's 70%. 30% can listen to many other opinions. It doesn't matter. Every opinion that I have has stemmed solely from my truthful experiences in life. I haven't built them upon anybody else's. Of course, you're going to get knowledge from other people, and you're always coming in with an open mind, and you will adapt and take certain things in because they are correct. But just because, like, I'm not going to sit here and watch a TV screen and be able to all of a sudden understand something and be like, oh, I'm going to just adapt that opinion, and that opinion is going to become mine, and I'm going to push that opinion on other people. I think that's also one of the biggest problems with the respect thing, if we really want to go back to it, is a lot of people are pushing an opinion that's not really theirs, and suddenly they feel that if that person disagrees, they're living their life based off of that opinion, so they feel like, honestly, something's being taken away from them if they don't agree with that opinion, because that's literally what they build their life upon, because they never had their own, which is why people feel so fucking confused. If you disagree with me, I couldn't give two fucks. That's the beauty of life. I have my opinion, you have yours. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal. Whether we take a different route to get to it, realistically, we have the same goal: the preservation of the human race, continuation of reproducing children, and making a better place for our kids' 2 generations, 3 generations down. Is to improve ourselves as humans. Whatever path you take to get there, so be it. That's the beauty of life. You might have a better solution than me. Whether or not I agree with your solution, it doesn't really matter. It's still going to bring humans a step forward. But I do agree to your point of the fact that many people don't have their own opinion, and they're taking in a lot of stuff that isn't theirs. And it's making them feel, as you said, gives them that opportunity of being impressed, because honestly, once they sit down and they sit in their room alone, they know that they're worth like nothing. And none of you should think in the world that you're worth nothing. You all have your purpose. You all do. If it's the smallest thing or the biggest thing, find it within yourself. Sit there and challenge yourself mentally. Take in the hard things in life, and don't look for somebody else's answer. Create your own answer, because that's the answer that's going to be right for you. That's why so many people, I think, are confused. I think that's really the stemming issue to respecting opinions, is what I had said prior, is that when you don't have your own, you're clinging on to one. And if you're clinging on to one, that's pretty much, you're turning that opinion into your identity. And because you don't know what your real identity is, when somebody completely disagrees with that identity, you have to congregate and form like an ant with everybody else with that idea, because that's literally all your worth in your eyes. And you have to realize that that's not how it is. You know what I mean? There's certain directions that a leader is going to take you to. But that does not mean that you don't have your own opinion. And if you don't, that's no problem. You don't need to have an opinion for everything. That's not everybody will. Not everyone's got an opinion for everything, but just because they disagree with you, don't take that as a theft of your identity, which is why you wouldn't be respectful of somebody thinking differently, because it would actually harm you.
Well, when people feel disrespected, it's because, it could be disrespect, but I think there's also an ego problem with people now.
Yes.
People feel like they're owed respect instead of
and that's
earning it.
Talking about the identity.
Yeah, like, and most of the time when people like take things as disrespect. It's like, it's kind of like tone down your ego. Most of the time when people say you don't respect them or they don't feel it, it's probably because of the way you said something. It's not exactly what it was. You know, sometimes body language like surpasses everything else. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just some people that are so insecure in themselves, man. It's just the
That was the next
insecurity.
topic I wanted to bring up. Insecurity.
I mean, it's, I guess you would say that, like, I don't know, maybe if I went to like a bar with a hot bitch and, you know, this dude was trying to like, you know, talk shit to me to make her like look at me like I'm a bitch and to like be attracted to him. I don't think that's disrespectful. I think that's him trying, and like, good for you and all that. Like, go ahead and try. I don't, if you take
Good
my
man.
girl somehow,
Because
go
you're not
for it,
doing
dude. Like,
You're fully
it's
confident in
probably,
yourself.
honestly, it's probably better for me that she left if she's just walking away with some other dude.
If she wanted to, right? You totally respect the game.
Yeah,
If
but
she wants to, you can't be upset about it.
dude, I respect the pimp, dude. I know how it be.
Respect the game.
But I'm serious though. It's like people now people will be like, dude, you looked at my girl, what the fuck? And then they're, you know, they either punch him in the club or they're like dragging him outside, or say, you know, that like you know, Max was telling all these bar stories. It's like all these people are just over exacerbating the situation every single time.
And
If
also,
everybody just like,
Correct.
if everybody just stayed cool and stopped jumping to your first like idea of what you should do, which is, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean? Like, sure,
Because it
yeah, but
forcefully
it's not
can
a
we
builds
also
their
survival.
say, can we also add on top of that the
It
fact?
forcefully builds their identity and or ego. That's the problem, is that I'm 100% sure in myself, so I don't need to do that to anybody to feel sure of myself when I leave the night. That makes them feel like, in that moment, it makes them feel like they're going to carry that on for the next years of their life, as in they are Billy Badass and they did something to like stand up for something that they believed, which wasn't, it all stems from the fact that they didn't even know what they really wanted. They're just trying to portray an image that to them is their identity or ego, which had nothing to do with the actual solemn fact. Like, if somebody takes somebody's girl, he's talking about a bar story that I had with some chick who wanted to get with me, and some guy didn't want me to get with her. And he just kept telling me to get the fuck away until he literally wanted to start a fucking fight with me, and the whole bar fucking emptied out and tried to back this guy up. And at the same time, it's free game. I did not care, just as he shouldn't care. You should just let the person choose. But it's obviously an ego thing that he said that he's going to get her, and he wouldn't. It just shows how insecure he is in himself that he has to go to the measure of threatening me several fucking times that he's going to actually cause me bodily harm because this 21-year-old girl doesn't want to get with a 34-year-old dude, and he's just trying to flex that he's got more money and he's buying her drinks. It's just stupid. It just shows how low and how demeaning he is.
Well, you know why that is? It's because he doesn't know how to get a girl with absolutely nothing but his own personality and charisma. So he needs to, you know, pay or, you know, give her money or do whatever that stuff is, because like that's his way in. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have it.
Bro, if you want to talk about charisma, I got a story where I was at a club with my friend Isaac in Israel right before I left, and we were there with like a bunch of coworkers, and they were like all like 25, 26 years old. And there was this girl who was like dancing. She was like starting to get like really intoxicated. And there's this guy who was just like feeding her drinks, you know, like he's trying to get with her, you know? And I guess he stepped away for a second to go buy like more drinks. And like I just started dancing with her, and he came back to see us like grinding up on each other.
Dude, you're just
like,
perpetuating. You're just perpetuating, you know, roof and all that shit, bro. That's not cool.
Like, dude, he just put the drinks down and he ended up leaving. Like, but
dude, that's
yeah,
not cool, bro. He's
bad.
putting all the money in. No, Jeff. Move your feet, lose your seat. You know.
I mean, that was just a quick story. Of
I don't know if that's charisma though. I mean, did you have to do anything special to get the girl? Like, did you say some like zinger line or like, you know, give her this, you know, just wave her over or give her a look or something, and then she's just like, mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, no, it was definitely the
like
look.
You kind of just like, she probably didn't even see who it was, and she just like, okay, there's a person touching me, cool.
Yeah, no.
Just looked at her and you did
like a creep. and like sliding in. You know, it was more of like, you know, like she saw me and then she started dancing on me. And then I was just like, all right, I'll join in. And
It's all in the way Ari licked his lips.
But hey, let's be honest. Let's be honest. The dude that was buying her drinks, that dude, like she probably just used him to get free drinks. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like that guy's a simp.
motherfucker looks at it as an
That guy's a
investment.
fucking
He
simp.
looks at it like as if he has something. Fuck are you?
That guy's either a simp or he's just failed. Like he just failed on trying to get this chick, like super hard.
Yeah, bro, I had to fail like that, man.
Like don't be buying bitches drinks, dude. Because on the off chance that like somebody like drops a little pill in there, all of a sudden you're the one that bought the drink. You know what I mean? Like you're fucked.
I never buy a
Stop buying
drink.
these bitches drinks.
I only buy a shot.
yeah, Lior, what's up? What's up with you, dude? You're lost in space over there.
No,
back.
I'm just chilling right now, reporting my altitude from the space station. But hey, no, like on a real note, let's talk about who's gonna win the space wars.
Oh my god, this
Hey,
guy's
what
tight, man.
what? Is
Let's
there
talk.
Star
Let's
Trek
talk.
now? What the
No. So you guys heard how Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO of Amazon, right?
No,
So he decided to step down as CEO of Amazon, and
quite the segue.
he's gonna become like a member of the board of directors, but instead he's probably gonna be shifting his attention on doing some space stuff, competing with my boy
Elon.
Elon.
Your boss.
Dude, Elon will never be on this podcast. I guarantee you that. You're like, well, I've been invited to a lot of podcasts, and
I only like Joe
I
Rogan.
don't know,
'cause he
yours
got me.
is low tier.
No, bro, he's gonna be like, I only like Joe Rogan's podcast because he gave me weed. Because that
Wait,
one
I
time
think,
he puffed the blunt.
dude, I think Elon was on there like again.
Yeah, there was another one
He was,
released like
I
recently.
think, yeah, he's on there like 3 times. That's crazy.
They're friends.
Shout out
Dude,
Joe
that's
Rogan.
That's my dream, bro. I want to be on the Joe Rogan podcast.
You want to be friends
That'd
with
be
Joe Rogan? That's a dream.
Yeah, dude.
That's a dream come
Like in a
true of any
fangirl
person.
type of way? Or a fan?
No,
Like,
like,
No, bro. Like, just
I
sit
didn't,
in
like-
the corner, be a third chair, and smoke one.
yeah, bro, just
No.
literally just chill in the same room, not even say
Maybe there's like a
just smoke
like a new
blunt with him,
episode.
you know what I mean? Let him do his thing, just watch. Like, I'll be like, whoa.
dude. Imagine Joe Rogan with like Snoop Dogg and like Aaron Nye. That'd be cool. You know what I'm saying?
This guy just spoke about himself in the third person.
Yeah, bro, he just.
Yeah, I was talking about the video title. You know.
And what will you guys all talk about? The best method to smoke?
No, wait. Were we supposed to talk about insecurity? How did we get to this? This is a
Aaron
Leo
would show his natural talent. He could play a harmonica with his ass.
Oh, you should see what I.
Bro, check my boy out on OnlyFans.
Yeah, $25 a picture.
You mean
And
lonely?
it's just armpit pictures. It's just armpit pictures.
Yeah,
Nothing but
and if the IRS
And
hears
sometimes
this,
it's
Aaron
not.
actually does not have an OnlyFans.
Yeah, for the record.
So for the record, the IRS don't come after this guy. He did not do anything. No.
Yeah, I haven't made any money yet. I just made the page.
Just post the first
I'm
video.
I don't
losing
think
money.
anybody's trying to pay for hairy armpit pics or like toes.
I mean, there, dude, you can grab. You just have to find that audience.
No, man, I think
just have to find
the
your
market's
niche
more on the
market.
dark web for that one.
I think you need to find your niche market.
Niche market.
Yeah,
I
bro.
mean,
it's a niche, bro. It exists.
Bro, listen,
But
we
it's a
got
niche.
some
It's a
good
small
foot
niche.
genetics. It's, just only a matter of time.
all right.
All right,
So wait,
so
what was the next thing? Insecurity? What was it?
yeah,
And that one's easy. It's just say. Wait, should we wait for that?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep going.
Actually, I'll be back too because I have
On a
to.
side note,
Oh, Max
the
just got
modern
here.
day bad boy
I'll be back.
wears black nail polish. What is your thought about that? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
That the modern day bad boy wears nail polish.
It's like everything
Really?
goes back in circles, bro. Like in the 80s, rock stars that had nail polish were cool. 80s and 90s, like early 90s, and then like rap came in. But people like it just comes back in circles, bro. That's just fashion.
Rap straightened the playing field.
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said rap straightened the playing field without them baggy clothes. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like wearing an XXL t-shirt.
Oh yeah, bro.
When you weigh 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Style.
Yeah, wow,
Bring
guys,
back the
we're an hour
parachute.
in.
Big drip. So no one commented on who's gonna win the Space Wars.
Jeff
I feel
Bezos.
that's a valid topic. Why do you think
I
that?
think the Gorgonites will win.
Shout out my guys at Whole Foods. Go Bezos.
Why do you think that?
maybe no, go ahead, man.
Because his bald head just looks aerodynamic. That's my reasoning.
All right, very deep reasoning.
I think the Gorgonites gonna win. Just because they're gonna win. My God told me that they're gonna win. So they're
we're gonna get invaded.
If that's what it says in the ancient book written 10,000 years ago, yeah.
All right, shit, we're fucked then. When are they gonna come? Does it say when, or does it just say that they will come someday?
No,
eventually?
you're actually supposed to guess when they come, and then when you get that right, then you feel a little bit fulfilled, and then they'll come and then kill you.
Okay, cool.
Is this like symbolized in like hieroglyphs or like some drawings on the wall that you saw?
I mean, I didn't see them myself. It was on actually a Soviet Russia website, and they had like pictures of that shit.
Oh, so it's just hearsay.
I mean, maybe it's a Russian troll.
Some
Who knows?
folklore.
Who knows?
Just show some Russian
Yeah,
bullshit,
maybe it's some like Middle Earth, like tree people, from underground. Who knows?
He's talking about the tree people. Shout out my boys in Papua New Guinea. Shout out the Papuans.
Papua New Guinea, dude. Bro, don't shout out to them. They're like going extinct. You
bro, they
leave
want
those
it
guys
that way.
alone.
Dude, yeah, they don't want contact with the outside world, bro. Leave them, bro.
Exactly. You can't shout out to them, bro. You gotta just like give a little holler. Well, hey.
All right, so Insecurities. What do we got?
I'm not gonna go first.
I'm gonna start it. Max, you wanted to bring it up, so because Aaron, I feel like, has a very straightforward and direct answer to this.
Thing.
Which
Stop making me feel insecure, bro.
Did you just take a crack at me?
What?
No, it was a rebuttal to what I said.
Aaron, hit us with your opinion. What do you feel nowadays on the Twitter
You want me
sphere?
to
What do
go
you feel? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, crack us with it.
Okay, so there's two types of insecurity. There's the insecurity that you feel from others, and then there's the insecurity that you have towards yourself. The insecurity that you feel from others most of the time is your fault, because your mind is taking things in a certain way. So you might take something personally. You might question the intention of something. You might misconstrue what's actually happening in the like situation. You might remember something differently that's actually not factual, that didn't happen, right? Your brain kind of like convinces you, oh, this is what happened, but that's just because you attach emotions to it. So that's the insecurity you have with others. The insecurity you have with yourself is, that's like the lack of purpose. Where am I like living? Look at my house. It looks like shit. I hate working at McDonald's and I'm 35. Like all that stuff. Oh, I haven't had a girlfriend in 17 years or something. That kind of stuff. It's insecurity. It's damaging. It's not healthy. You can't help but to do it because that's how we're programmed. That's how our brain works. Like, I don't think dogs get insecure. I think it's just, exclusive to us. But it's just something to beat, just like everything else. Because it's everything's survival, right? So like our mind starts creating problems, like Max said. So we create our own problems to solve. So it's yours to solve in the first place. Dang,
I like
think the
it.
screen froze. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we're getting some turbulence in the connection here. So
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there.
Boom.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to repeat all that, though.
I don't know if it's on my
I
end
heard that
because I'm getting it from everyone.
Oh, I heard that crisp. Everything he said, I got.
I hear everybody.
Yeah,
fine.
no,
It was Chris.
it's on my end then.
That
Chris,
is unfortunate
shout out
because
my
you have a
boys at
recording.
Crystal.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate.
Gotta get that Ciroc. Dude, Max got that Ciroc.
Hit him with
sure.
that effing vodka. Shout out my boy Fiddy.
Hit them with that Ruski standard. Shout out
Dude,
Ruski
dude.
standard.
No, bro. Dude, Max only drinks that Absolute because he's absolute. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
Yeah, the
absolute.
funny thing is I ain't drinking it. I'm absolutely gonna vomit. You know what I'm saying? That thing fucked me up. I will never drink Absolute. On the
Dude,
record,
Absolute is
for
like,
the mic, fuck Absolute.
bro, it's
Shit
like
is nasty
drinking
as fuck.
rubbing
I think I got
alcohol, bro.
pineapple flavor.
Absolute is
Bro,
okay.
Absolute
Come
and
on.
clean alcohol share the same thing, bro. They got properties that can disinfect my toilet, bro, and end up in my toilet depending on which way you do.
Don't be
Shit is
pussy.
Dude, you can use that as spermicide, bro. You come in a bitch's pussy and then you just pour the vodka in there, kills everything inside.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's
Yeah.
how
These
nasty that
ideas,
vodka
bro.
is, bro.
Why would you waste a whole good bottle of vodka on that?
That bitch that put Gorilla Glue in her hair, she could just dip her head in vodka and like that glue will disperse in like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Why
bro.
would you waste vodka
I
on
mean, if you
that?
ever
That's
want
what
to
I'm saying. Drink it.
just put some vodka in there.
All right, who else has to
Don't
talk
ask
about
me how I know.
insecurity? That's all of you. All of you have to talk about insecurity. Go ahead.
What is there to say
Well, I
about
kind of agree with a
insecurity?
certain point about what he says, but you broke it down to two sections: insecurity you get from others, and then insecurity you have within yourself. I think they all stem from the same thing. It's pretty much insecurity in yourself. So if you weren't insecure, you wouldn't have the two segments, like insecurity from others. And if you were not insecure, you wouldn't have had either of the two. I think a lot of the insecurity stems from the fact that people are relying upon other people to validate whether they are correct or not, whether they are fucking cool or not, whether they are good looking or not, whether they are any one of the variables that you can think of in your head. They're looking for some sort of an exception from somebody else because they are not sure within themselves if that is right or wrong. And I think this stems back also to respecting opinions. It's kind of a revolving matter that we're really reaching in this 21st century is people kind of in a lost space, I guess you could say, kind of like our boy Leor, who's just chilling in the Elon Space Center out there. They're just lost within their own thoughts. And I think this is where their insecurity stems from, is that they got so much time and so many different options to have to rely upon that they don't know which one suits them, which leaves them in a place that they have no identity and or no ego. So they're building an identity and an ego based off of what they're deciding to pick and choose. If you don't pick and choose your ego, now you can go and pick and choose what t-shirt you're going to wear. You can go and pick and choose what job you're going to have. You can go and pick and choose the way that you're going to treat others, or the way that you not want to be treated, but the way that you come across as a human being. These are things you can choose, but they all stem from the simple fact of who are you? And if you don't really know who you are, you're going to have some sort of insecurity. If it's in the workplace, if it's in your sexual performance, as if it's in what you want to do in life, if it comes from even the way that you look, if you're not clear with yourself that what you do is good and what you do is what you can do, then you're going to have that underlying problem. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people want to be what they're not. And this puts you in a state of like a linguo where you end up insecure, because you can't be what you're not. You got to be what you feel in your heart. Now, I don't know how to explain to somebody yet, because I don't have the answer for everything in life, but I can't explain to you how you decide what you are. I feel like it's something that you feel in your heart.
I can.
So maybe you can back that one up, because like I wake up,
I can as well.
All right, let Ari go first, because I already talked.
All right, so to explain in like modern day language with like social media and everything, there are a lot of societal norms, and basically everyone is always using these norms to compare themselves with everyone else. So if you're not within these guidelines, then you're basically you're not accepted, and that's where the insecurity comes from.
I guess to a certain extent, but not fully. I think
That's like directly connected to psychology.
Again, it's looking to the outside for acceptance, when in reality, if you had a good support network at home, you would never be doing that in the first place.
Yeah, but I feel like it also stems from two things you guys both just mentioned. Is that maybe it stems from an environmental thing, and the second thing is maybe it stems from what Ari was saying in terms of social media and what's a societal norm. But I believe that it plays a part in both of them, is that many people want to be something they're not, because they feel like they need a certain acceptance they're not going to have unless they truthfully accept themselves. Like, there is certain societal norms that you have to fit in to feel accepted, whatever. I don't really care about them. That's me personally, but I understand how certain people can be influenced by that. But I feel like that stems down to the single self thing that I was speaking about, that you still don't know who you are in yourself. If you know who you are, you wouldn't be looking at societal norms.
You do know.
I feel like it's a natural human thing to want to be accepted. I mean, humans are social animals. It's been proven, like psychologically, that we depend on others. Like we don't want to be solitary. That's not something that's natural to us. Is like a tiger who lives by himself and is totally okay with it. That is the life that is brought upon them. They choose that. That's the way that they live. That's the way that their species has survived. We are looking for social connection. So I understand how from a certain point that could lead to wanting to be accepted. I feel like social media has only amplified that, because now instead of being able to just live in a small buttfuck nowhere town, you know what I'm saying, in the back ass of nowhere, and you only have 3 options of what's the societal norm, now you look on your Instagram and there's fucking 2,000 things that are societal norm. And you already didn't know who you were, which is totally okay. I understand some people are not at that stage in maturity or that stage in self-acceptance to also accept the flaws that they have and the things they have and know who they are. But I feel like
I have something to say here.
Add?
So, what?
I said add what you had to say.
I just I think that, you know, knowing who you are and knowing who you could potentially be is being confused with each other. Knowing who you are is basically all you are your choices. Okay, so if you choose to lay in bed, then you're a person who lays in bed. It's not that complicated. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't have a job, then you're somebody who doesn't have a job. That's your choice, right? Unless, you know, there's other, it's not depending on your choice. It's like, oh, you're on disability or COVID or whatever the thing is, right? But like, you are what you choose to be. Well, you're not your environment. You're a product of your environment. But who you choose to be for your future, like who you could potentially be. I think that's what you guys are trying to talk about when you're saying like people don't know who they are. They don't know who they want to be because they don't set goals for themselves necessarily. That could be one situation. Maybe another situation is they have the wrong type of friends. They have the wrong type of friends. So when they're listening to their friends talk, maybe their friends are less ambitious than them. So they're like, damn, I don't know who I am. I'm ambitious, but I'm hanging out with people that aren't ambitious.
But how would you perceive?
Sometimes it is environment.
How would you perceive? Give you an example, a situation that I encountered in my life. Okay, how would you perceive that based off of what you're saying? Because what you're saying is, I went to university in 2 different states. Okay, and the majority of the students that I met on my university campuses, on the first day of learning, 9 out of 10 people, even higher, 9.5, 95% of the people that were around me had a headphone in and had their face in their phones, which closed all opportunity to engage with anybody else but themselves. So you could say, okay, that's their safe space. So you're saying that in their safe space, that bubble, they are understanding who they are, and they're just accepting that, but they're too scared to be who they want to be because they don't know, so they don't want to project themselves. How would you understand what I'm saying? Or did you understood what my point is, kind of?
I'm not. Remember, I said the choices that you make is who you are, right? But the potential self that you want to be, that's what like makes people like move forward and progress. Okay, when you have like a goal for yourself. Now, I'm not sure, in these universities, like what classes they were, but I'm pretty sure every person in that room had some sort of goal, right? Because they're showing up to university, right?
I don't know. I would say that
maybe their goal is just let's make it to the end of the year. And sorry,
I would say that 70% of the people in the room did not choose to go to university just because it came to their mind and said they were going to. They thought it was a societal norm, or the majority of them, their parents told them that this is what they have to do.
That's right. That's right. But just like, university is a step. It's just a stepping stone. You don't really figure out who you are until you've kind of you've been through it. You've been through life. You've been alone. You figure out who you are by doing what you want to do versus doing what you don't want to do, right? Like when, you're in the army, for example, you figure out, hey, guess what? I don't like being just another, number. I want to be an individual. I don't like wearing the same uniform as everybody else. You know what I mean? Like they remove individuality from the army, and you really get to understand, hey, everything's stripped away from me. I'm just like everybody else, like for real this time though. Not like the cliche, oh yeah, everybody's a human being and all that stuff. Like you strip it down to its core. You're just a fighting machine. Okay. So that's all right? And then once you get out, you all of a sudden have to like be with everybody else again. And all of a sudden, what everybody else is saying, it doesn't align with what you think at all, because you know what it's like to not be an individual for like a certain amount of time. So now you're like, clawing your way back into being a person and being you now.
Yeah,
like really being you.
That's a problem actually some of our close friends are having currently right now, who have just finished, the army in Israel. They're having trouble like having a sense of self, like they were so used to what they were doing and their purpose in the army.
Remember, there's a hierarchy of needs, right? The baseline one is like physical and like shelter and food, right? And I'll just talk about the bottom and the top. And the top one is self-realization, right? But you have to go through all these other, Maslow's. You have to go through all these other things first, right? Maybe, the 2 middle ones will be swapped, like the social and the whatever the other one is. But the one at the top stays at the top for a reason.
Oh, self-actualization or something?
Yes, or self-realization. And when you get to self-realization, that's when you just get a little glimpse, because you don't stay at the self-realization point. It's always, you're always
Never.
going up and down, up
Shit
and down,
in
up
life
and down.
always brings you down, and you have to go get back up, and then you have to go back to get back down. It's always like that. It's a
Yeah, that's how like we learn. I mean, think about it. That's how our genes are passed on. All our genes are like, you know, everything's fighting to live. Okay, everything. You know what I mean? Like birds are, you know, fighting for that worm or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So our genes are also like fighting to live, and we, you know, we look for, you know, the most, you know, voluptuous women because, you know, we see that and we're like, oh, caveman brain says I like big butts. You know what I mean? And everybody's just trying to live their life, but they're paying too much attention to everybody else. When you stop paying attention to everybody else, you just pay attention to yourself and you really think, hey, what do I want to do? And you figure out you can do anything. That's when you start finding who you are.
And that's when, great point you made. It's a funny sentence I want to share with a lot of our viewers who are going to come. It's something I definitely want to pass on. It's one of our best friends, Yuval, his older brother, passed it to me once, and then we were speaking about, you know, girlfriends and, you know, time passing and when do you know you find your wife or whatnot. And he made a very good point to say to me that whenever you stop focusing on anything but yourself, whenever you're going to be the best version of yourself and you invest the most in yourself and you grow the most within yourself, is when you will meet that person. And I feel like it kind of ties into what you're saying, is in when you stop thinking about anybody else and only think about yourself. Obviously, I'm not saying be a piece of shit to everybody. I mean, pay attention to your own growth and finding out who you are. And if everybody did that, then I think the world would be at a better place. And we wouldn't have this insecurity. We wouldn't have this lack of respect towards others' opinions, because you would feel fulfilled in yourself if you truthfully invested into yourself, not into what others think or what I should become, or just be you.
People
Invest
don't know
into
how
the
to
best
take in
version.
information anymore. Like the way information is processed now, people like when, like, let's say you're watching Fox News or CNN or anything like that, they put in like things to like get people mad, like get the viewers mad. They put like these little graphics next to, like, you know, the big-headed anchorman that's talking, right? And all you see are these, like, you know, maybe there's three big words there and they're red, right? You look at that, you get mad, right? And all of a sudden you're not even paying attention to your own life anymore. You're being pissed off about some shit that, you know, doesn't really affect your life, because you're sitting here watching the TV that's telling you, hey, they're ruining your life, but you're sitting there watching TV and they're saying it to you. So it's like, it's not like you're in the slave camp and then you know the tiny TV that has like a 3-inch screen in the corner. So like you're not watching that and you're like mopping the floor in your jail clothes and you're looking up and they're like, yeah, you know, the new dictatorship. It's not like that. Everybody's in their nice houses, you know, in Beverly Hills or whatever, and they're all like, holy shit, oh my God, all this crazy shit's happening, yet they're still in their, you know, houses. They're still living their lives. Everybody's paying too much attention to everybody else.
When you should be the best version of yourself.
Mind your own business, people. Keep your head down. Move in silence. All right? You can do it. Be a ninja.
Just go to space.
Just you don't even have to be pressured about what you want to do and all that. You just sit in a room and you don't let yourself do anything. And all of a sudden, hey, I feel like drawing something, or I feel like writing something, or something's on my mind. I'm gonna like somehow like create something. That's how you figure out who you are. When you really have nothing to do and you don't escape from the nothing. You don't escape from the boredom by going to your phone.
Or TV.
Yeah, little screen, small screen, medium screen, same shit.
Flat screen.
Big ol' flat screen.
Yeah.
No, bro,
So we
TV
still
time
got
is
two
TV
people.
time.
We got two people to talk about insecurity, man. You guys aren't talking about it.
Well, I ain't
You
got
guys
really
insecure
much.
about it?
I ain't got really much to add about what you said about insecurities. I feel like you guys
All right.
broke it down pretty pretty deeply. I mean, like,
Yeah, I gave my little 2 cents towards the
Oh, I
beginning
mean-
because like I really hold to it. Like I think that it just uh I mean I you never gave me a chance to get to the point where to say like, you know, other people are worried about others, but you know, me explaining how everyone's comparing everything, that's basically what it comes down to.
Well, you do need to compare because you need a point of reference, and the point of reference has to come from like, you know, the average case that you see. So, for example, you're working out, right? You can't look in the mirror and be like, I'm big, and then not look at anybody else, and then realize, oh, okay, I'm not that big. Like you have confidence
kinda can.
in the goal.
It's big to you. What's big to
What?
somebody else might not be big for you. And
Right,
what's big
right,
to him,
right,
it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
right. But like,
To a certain
So
extent, like you should be able to take outside influences, but I feel like at a certain point, because of the situation that the world is in personally with the majority of people, I think better advice just be like focus on focus on yourself.
yeah,
Whatever
bro,
feels
your
good for
your
you,
own baseline is
do.
you, not
Yeah,
anyone
because if you
else.
start looking other places, I totally agree with you. If you're talking about now, like fully going forward and trying to advance as a society and trying to just measure, we're not just talking about how you fucking look, but like, you know what I mean? It's a good example, an easy
yeah,
one to comprehend. But like, then yes, we have to try to grab other opinions because other opinions could bring us forward. This is what we were speaking about, respecting opinions at the beginning of this podcast. But if you are insecure and confused, you should probably just take yourself as a baseline. And when you're happy with yourself, I promise you, everybody else will notice it too.
yeah,
And
the
you
first step is always going to be acceptance with anything. You always have to accept yourself. You have to accept the situation or circumstance as it is, because if you're always in denial, then you're basically living a lie.
yeah,
false identity. Identity theft. Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the boys, we're going to be wrapping it up. We spoke very deeply. It got really intense. Aaron was talking about us overthinking, yet he started expressing a bunch of shit that like seemed like he's been overthinking.
oh, I'm guilty of everything. You know why? Because I'm a human being.
Bro, we are all, dude,
Respect.
dude, like,
I accept I am an overthinking human. That's who I am.
listen, I truly believe in this one line is that whoever is without sin should cast the first stone at the fucking person. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking about things like that, like we are all guilty of doing a lot of things.
Yeah, remember
Nobody can
Max,
say
when
Jeffrey Epstein was a good guy.
I brought that up to our group in 9th grade, when everyone was always worried about like, you know, what everyone else was doing, and I was just like, I brought that thing up about Jesus, and then all you guys were like, "What? Why the hell are you bringing up Jesus right now? We're Jewish." Like, this doesn't
Hey,
make
bro,
What
sense.
did you say
It's
about
because
Jesus, bro?
Jesus
I
is
said
the
what Lior said. Like, whoever doesn't sin, you know, could cast first stone.
like,
Bro,
but the reason why we mention Jesus is because he's a Jewish brother of ours, bro.
One
Yeah,
big fan.
but at the time, I guess when I mentioned Jesus, everyone was like surprised. They were like, "Well, why are you bringing that dude up?" You know?
well, it
No.
sounds like they didn't respect your opinion.
Yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of people don't respect other people's opinion. That's
I
kind
wouldn't
of the
respect his opinion either. His opinion's retarded.
Hey, dude, I've been a deep thinker, you know, since a very young
That's
age.
your
So
opinion.
So I think we're wrapping
That's your
this up.
opinion.
Overthink all you need. Get if you want. Just spreading a little bit of our wisdom and our
I'm
thoughts.
gonna overthink about falling back asleep.
yeah, in no way, shape, or
Hopefully you
form.
guys come tune in next week. We'll be out here trying to share our personal experiences and our opinions with you guys. Always love to hear comments. Always like to hear from you. Heckling hooligans. Ouch, yo.
Yeah.